to get going with another stream. I know it's been a little while, not long since I did my last stream, but you know, this is kind of a special one. I did have my wife actually had our son last Saturday, so it's been kind of a wild ride since then, and I really haven't had much time to steal away and do a little bit of painting. Okay, so right now I'm just kind of announcing it on Twitter. Okay, and we're gonna get things started. Okay, so we'll talk about this model here in a minute. I also have my son, my poor little toddler, sleeping behind me, so if he wakes up, this could be a very, very short stream. But anyway, I'm going to open up the comment section. Now, I am not live streaming on Twitch because I need to record this locally on the computer as well. So, oops. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Just made a big mistake. Alright. Trying to get the comment section open on YouTube. No. And that noise was from the other computer because they want me to check some HP thing there. Okay, so anyways, let's talk about what we are painting tonight. This is Kingdom Death, the Kingdom Death Candy and Cola, and I've been painting this. You can see it's, you know, it's actually somewhat bit of the ways into the painting process, and let's play with some lighting here. Maybe no, that did not help at all. Still trying to fix my lighting situation here. I feel like maybe the lamp needs to be further up on the table. Maybe it's just throwing the wrong angle of light here, because it's kind of hard to make out details on this. But anyway, this is what I've been painting for the past few days, and instead of doing the live stream, what I've been doing is I've actually been recording it. And the idea behind that is to just put out a standard like style painting video, right? So she's what I'm working on right now, and the skin is mostly done. The eyes could probably use a little bit more of a touch up, but you know, she's getting there. And so we're on the part, like basically her clothing. Haven't touched Cola yet, but he's a pretty quick paint. There's not a whole lot there to talk about. Log in. That's my, I think that's my login these days. So we're gonna work on this, and we'll just take it from there. Let me again, I'm still trying to get my comment section open because I'm not sure if anyone is watching. Hard to say. Let's go to live stream. Okay. There we go. Alright. Looks like the stream there looks good. Let's go to view on the watch page. Let's see if we have any comments or anything from people tuning in. Doesn't look like it. Okay. So anyways, this might be a really short one, but what we're going to work on is actually the blue robes, and that's it really. It's just going to be the blue. We're going to work on the blue robes. I'm just going to talk a little bit of like general stuff just to get you caught up. One thing I want to say before I totally forget, congratulations to Canvas Canvas 01 here on YouTube. He hasn't made a video in a long time, but he's, you know, amongst us hobbyists, he's one of the more popular fellows to follow along with. Always does great work. I like his kind of punchy attitude personally. So I'm a fan, and I just want to say congratulations on your baby, because you know, not even a week after I had my baby, Canvas and his wife gave birth to a baby boy, which I think they were expecting a girl, which makes that even more interesting. But they were expecting a girl and they had a boy. I think that's really cool. Okay, so anyways, we are gonna get to it. Let's open up the wet palette, and I should actually probably start over, to be honest with you. Man, this is not the best, not one of my better broadcasts, guys, so I apologize for that. Okay, so anyways, let's put a new piece of parchment paper on there. And we'll get going. Should be. There it is. So kind of get a piece of parchment paper. So I'll do it that way. So I just put that down. Alright, so I want to paint the robes here on this model, and put more water on my wet palette so that things stick a little bit better. There we go. But as you can see, I started with a really dark color. So the idea is we're going to try to go to a fairly intense blue. Okay, and I love going from like a dark color to a really intense blue. The only potential issue is that the blues, like when you get into these like really deep blues, like this is dark Prussian blue, that they can be very translucent, and they're somewhat high gloss. The idea is to try to get here towards medium blue towards the end of this. So I'm going to use medium blue, and I want to use deep blue if I have any. If I have any super dark blue left over. Let's see. Maybe not, huh? May not be a thing. I have an intense blue, but that's the wrong blue. Okay. So I also picked up a new blue. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do heavy blue, okay? So we're going to do heavy blue on this. This hasn't been attached yet, so you can see I'm just going to pop that right off, and we're going to paint that separately, okay? So we're going to do some intense blue, and I'm going to use thinner medium. Thanks, Rammy. That was my cat. Decided to just knock something off. And we'll use matte medium to thin this, because I want this to be super smooth and super thin. And matte medium mixed with the thinner medium will keep this super thin. Okay, so mix that up. So this is a really this is a pretty rich blue. Wow, it's not as thin as I want it to be, but hopefully on the wet palette, hopefully it'll get a little thinner, right? Because what I want to do is I really want to slowly build up the layer of blue here from the black. So what's going to happen is I'm going to paint this first one on, and I'm not going to be terribly careful about where it's going. It won't be until we get to the later layers that I'll be much more concerned about, you know, getting the edges and the highlights going. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna build this up real slow. And then also for the stocking, I will probably not be using this blue. I'm actually going to use it, I'm going to treat it like pantyhose. So the stocking is going to get real tight, and you're going to, where the stocking gets really tight, like the top of the thigh here, you're going to see a little bit of the you'll start to see some of this, the actual skin tone come through. Okay, so right now I'm just going to hit it with this deep blue. And you can see I'm just doing a thin layer over the whole, over every area that will most likely end up being blue. Whoa. Made a mistake right there. Luckily this is so thin that you could actually just say I got a little on the back shoulder blade there. But this layer is so thin that you can easily just wipe it out. Okay? With just, you know, in a little bit of water. I like how Norton decides to run quote-unquote background checks while I'm doing a live stream and recording on the computer. Doesn't seem to think I'm doing anything important. But I think I am, so. Okay. And we're gonna So this is a gift given to me from one of my viewers, Tori Ling. Really cool guy, local guy. He doesn't get out much to game with us, but he did work Comic-Con with me last year, which was cool. And out of the blue, he says, "Hey, I just got you a gift." And I honestly, I was like, "Oh, that's really nice, but I don't really need anything." So I really wasn't thinking much of it, because I knew that Tori's he lives a little further out from me, so you know, we don't get together very often. So I'm like, you know, that's really cool. He seemed really hyped about it, and I'm like, well, that's great. You know, it may not be a while till I see it, and I hope it's nothing big, right? That was like, I hope it's nothing big, because you know, Tori's a great guy. Don't want to put him out or anything over something like a gift. So quite a while rolls by, and then you know, out of the blue, he's like, "Hey, you know, can we meet up? I found your gift," because I think he had to move some stuff around, so he lost it. He may have lost it for a little bit, but he was like, "Yeah, I have your gift. I want to give it to you." So, you know, I set up a time for him to come meet me at the LGS Comic Quest, and sure enough, he shows up, and he has this tiny little plastic sprue, which I thought was cool. I could tell it was just looking at the sprue, I could tell it was a Kingdom Death mini. And I was like, "Oh, cool, Kingdom Death minis. I have a lot of fun painting those." and he's like, yeah, it's the Candy and Cola Kingdom Death, and that's where I was really kind of blown away by it, because you know, this is a model I've been trying to get my hands on for a little while, and I guess I mentioned it. I may have mentioned it to him at some point, and he remembered. And you know, I like to. Candy and Cola is like one of my all-time favorite miniatures, and especially in so much as it's a heavily crossed over miniature. I mean, Candy and Cola shows up everywhere, right? And I try to paint every possible version of Candy and Cola, and this is one that has eluded me for some time, because you know, I did not back Kingdom Death, much to my own dismay, and so it was like, wow, I didn't even. And every time the model showed up and was available, it was either too expensive on eBay, or it just was poor timing for me, and I couldn't get it. So this model has eluded me for, I want to say, maybe close to 2 years. And you know, when Tori brought it in, I was pretty blown away by that. I was pretty blown away, one, that he even remembered, you know, me saying something like, I really want to paint the Kingdom Death Candy and Cola, but two, that he was able to get one and fork it over to me. Because, like, if I got a hold of one of these guys, I probably would not give it out as a gift. I would really, really want to just paint it, which is why we are painting tonight, right? I really just want to paint it. So you can see I'm not really. This first coat I'm not terribly careful with, although I just did get a little bit of blue on her boob there. So I have to clean that up. There we go. So there's that. And we're going to start to paint. So when I'm painting this cloak here, I'm going to hold it by Cola and just paint. You can see how thin that layer is. It's going down. Like, you can see a little bit of the blue there, but it's not. When it dries down, it's not going to be not nearly as intense as it looks here on camera. And because this is the inside of the cloak, I'm not going to do too much on the inside, because this is going to be mostly in shadow. It's the other side of this cloak that I'm going to be actually putting in more time getting the colors down on. And I figured, you know, let's just go ahead and do this and record it locally so that I can splice it together into the upcoming painting video, which I can't guarantee will become a video, because you know, even though I've it recorded, if I fall out of frame too much, or if you can't make out what's going on, or if it's just not good quality, I probably won't continue to edit it. I'll probably just drop out. Tilt this down a little bit. So using this blue as thin as I'm going, I can concentrate on keeping the coating nice and smooth. Also, You know, I don't have to exactly paint on the parts that are supposed to be highlighted, but it helps, obviously. And I can kind of double layer towards the top, because that's where the light, most of the light's gonna fall, obviously. And then the more prominent areas of the cloak. So the idea here is just to make that transition from super dark blue to a lighter blue better. Okay. And then as the layers dry, we just start doing more layers, and and with each successive layer we just stay a little bit higher and let the color kind of build up where the light should fall, right? So for example, here on the bra, most of the color is going to land towards the top of the bra in the larger sections. So with the next layer coming down, I'm just going to keep things towards the top of the model. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Play It Painting Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting tonight. We're working on something fun for me. Kingdom Death Candy and Cola. Now I have a commission on the table, but I was in the middle of filming this and painting this. See that mistake right there? Gotta fix that. It's the middle of painting this, and I was like, well, I better finish this before I move on. So that's why we're still working on it. And the whole idea here was that I would take my sweet time on this model. Because she's a lot of fun. And I want to, this is one of those instances where she is going to have some use with me. Like she's going to, I'll be able to play Relic Knights with her. But I'm not, there's no rush to get her on the board, you know, because, and that's because, you know, there's lots of, I have so many candy models that I could use any of those other candy models instead for Relic Knights rather than this one. But the goal is to use this one for that, so that's why she's on the board. Hey, what's up, Tori? You can see the fruits of your gift to me right now by watching me paint Kingdom Death Candy. And you know, I was just explaining earlier, part of the stream, that the hope is that because I'm recording this live and on my my laptop, that I would be able to put together a painting video on candy that you know, that people can enjoy. So that's the idea there. So right now you can see I got the skin done. The face is pretty much done, and I'm working on right now I'm just working on all the clothing, the blue areas and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 layers like this. So yeah, the goal tonight is to get the blue down and probably another color. I may do the pantyhose. because I noticed on most of the candy, most of the work that is online for this miniature has that stocking white, and that's like typical candy that stocking would be white. But I'm going for a little bit darker, a grittier form of candy, since this is Kingdom Death candy. So so I will be doing a more of a pantyhose type thing with that stocking. Okay. Second layer. So that's the second layer of the heavy blue, and let's do the second layer on the cloak. I'm going to do a quick on the inside parts of the cloak. I'm not going to do much of a second layer at all, because like I said, it's going to be in shadow, so I don't really want too much of the blue. I don't want the blue to look that intense as you go into the shadow of the mini. What I do want is I want the blue to have a nice cool transition. So okay, so that's the last I'm going to paint. The inside of that cape, of this cloak. So this should be super fun. Again, this is one of the coolest you know, just random gifts I think I've ever gotten. So thank you once again, Tori. And yeah, for sure this is a lot of fun to paint. So I'm taking my sweet time here working on this. I'm gonna let that dry for a second, take a sip here. And a little bit of this weird candy, pumpkin spice candy bar weird thing that I'm eating. Alright, so in other news, I got some gaming in tonight, which was great too. And I got to play Relic Knights again. It's been a long time since I got in a game of Relic Knights, and we got in 2 games of Relic Knights tonight, which was fantastic. So I got to break out this guy, Jenner the Seeker, for Relic Knights, and you can see, there he is. So that's Jenner the Seeker. Really kind of cool looking character here. Painted him recently. I think I want him to be a little brighter on the edges. Like, I really want extreme edges, so I may come back and highlight his edges in a really sharp yellow. But I can take care of that later. Anyways, got in 2 games. Jenner the Seeker was part of my Corsair group, and I was focusing mainly on resin, on the new resin stuff. So fielded Jenner the Seeker, and I fielded a Void Witch, along with Questing Knight Calico Kate, which is one of my favorite miniatures of all time, tonight. And they did pretty well. Jenner got a little wasted, shot up during that game. I don't remember if it was Questing Knight Kisa or whoever that finished Jenner, but anyway. But still, I mean, he did his job before he went down. He delivered the conservation token, and also I ended up winning that game. So super fun, and it was great to be playing some Relic Knights again. So Jenner's super fun. All right, so I'm gonna add some matte medium to my blue, And we're going to add another little thing of thinner medium. Only one drop, that's all you need. And we're going to transition towards medium blue. Okay? Medium blue is another one of my favorite colors. It's a great, just nice, bright blue, high chroma. So I've got medium blue out there, and I'm going to mix in some of this gray blue. They don't seem to be they're not cooperating that well. These two blues don't really, maybe they don't really like each other that much, but okay. All right. So now let's layer up another let's do another layer of the blue. And now we're going to really start sharpening the highlight. Right, so we're just going to catch the edges there. And the tops. Character is super fun to paint. I love the Kingdom Death style. That the Kingdom Death style is really, really soft lines, big swooping angles. I mean, big swooping areas, broad areas for blending and playing around with lighting and that kind of stuff. This is really fun painting, and it's, you know, when people talk about high quality miniatures, they talk about having really crisp detail most of the time, and that's great. And there's a lot of lines, miniature lines, that do really crisp details on models, but sometimes that message of, you know, having really crisp details on miniatures, sometimes what it ends up translating to in terms of executing your painting on the miniature is it ends up being a lot of really tiny detail work. So it ends up being, you know, just tedious picking out all of the little spikes and all the little chains and little seams and all this stuff. Cases, you know, that's stuff that looks fantastic at the end of the day when you paint it all, but it's just tedious. The process itself is tedious. Whereas this, I'm blending and layering up and actually using the layering to kind of justify some extreme color jumps and blends and that kind of thing. This to me is way more fun. Like, see all the skin, getting all the contours of the skin right, layering up the skin is super fun. Getting there, she's looking pretty good. So we're gonna that's just how I like to paint. I would much rather show color transitions and blends and all that kind of stuff. Really cool highlighting and shading. I would rather see that than just like taking a brush and, you know, picking out every skull or every spike. I don't have fun painting like that. But, you know, and it's not to say that painting models like that isn't fun. It's just, if I could, I would paint more stuff with the big swooping areas to blend and all that kind of stuff. This is looking pretty good. I think I want to go up a little more, but I don't want to desaturate the blue. So I'm going to have to think about how I'm actually going to blend this next color up. Because I definitely like this. I like this intense blue. I like where that's going. I think I need to do like electric blue or something. Let's do that. Then we'll glue, well, once it's dry, so tomorrow, I'll go ahead and glue that cloak on. And we'll continue. So we're going to go electric blue. This is kind of a thick paint, so I'm going to take that matte medium and thinner medium again. Mix it in there. And then do the final highlight there. And again, because I want this so thin, I'm going to add water to that as well. Okay, so there's the color, and we're going to blend it into the other colors. So now I have a transition going basically from that dark blue all the way up to electric blue. And I actually have a sky blue that I could be using as well. But I think this is going to be good enough. Like, I think this is going to get me to where I want to go here. Alright. Again, we're going to start, we're just like with any highlight, focus that towards the top. And towards the top and towards the edges. That's pretty intense. So I'm trying to blend it. Trying to blend that into the other blues here. I'll take the wet brush. To soften up that edge there. Meanwhile, we'll keep. There we go. There we go. And we're gonna spin that. There we go. And with highlighting stuff like this, I really just go until I hit something that I really like. I don't like, some people talk about highlighting all the way up to white. Sometimes I do that. A lot of times I don't though, because a lot of times I get to a point where I want to be. And I leave it there. Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna, so you see how sharp that is. I'll take that. See that? A little water. And we're gonna soften it up. See? I'm gonna blend that. And blend that all together. So there's that. And that's pretty nice looking blend on the cloak. There's just a really fine line here that we're missing. Okay. And now we're going to apply the final the final highlight, which is just the electric blue by itself. Okay. Right? I might have went a little too extreme on the blue, but I don't care. I think it looks great. It's like really striking, so I think it's cool. That's kind of what I'm going for. I want the highlights to be fairly striking on the miniature. Fun to be painting again. Okay. See this final little bit of transition here on cloak. I'm not even gonna really put it on too many places, just enough to kind of draw the eyes to the edges. That's all I'm really trying to do here. Alright. So, anyways, that's where we are at the cloak. I'm just gonna put it temporarily on the model so you can see what's going on. Like how the model will fit together when it's done. So there it is. All right. So there. So you get to see how we did the blue. You see the detail there on the cloak. Super fun. And yeah, so we've been painting about an hour. Just really only time to just do the blue, and that's it. So anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks guys for watching again. I'm gonna try to get some rest here, and I'm gonna try to jump on and just maybe we just do shorter streams. I don't know. This might work out better given my new parental duties here. I should say additional parental duties, you know, because I already had a kid before now, but he's a toddler, and so having a lot of fun playing with him. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. That's it for this video. Leave me any comment. Let me know in the comments or anything like after this if you want me to shoot anything specific, because I think that might be easier. I can put together a specific topic or something with an example and just paint some of that for an hour. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks again for everybody for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.